Hello, I am Wesley Foreman and you are watching Cooking for the Yum of It. Today I am going to be attempting Coquilles Saint-Jacques sauté à la Provençale, which is scallops sautéed with garlic and herbs. This recipe is good for 4 to 6 people, and I will be including with it as side dishes my green beans and also some roasted cherry tomatoes. I'm sorry for the noise you may be hearing in the background, but my roommate Antonio is back from San Francisco to get a bunch of laundry done before he returns to the city, where he's helping take care of his husband who recently had that health scare. Thank you for your understanding. Now, let's get started. Now, I tried to get as much of the advanced prep work done as I could. For example, all of the scallops you see here have been cut into 1.5 inch pieces, more or less. And first thing we're going to do is, again, we're going to dry our meat. Get some paper towels out. And I don't suppose it has to be this neat when you're drying, but I like to keep it... Oh, who am I kidding? Sometimes when it comes to cooking, I have a little bit of OCD. So let's get this done real quick. Now, normally scallops would be way too expensive, but I got these, they were on sale at the grocery outlet near my apartment. And I figured, what the heck, I love scallops, and I can afford these. So, we get these nice and dry. And same as happened with the lamb I did, gotta be very careful that we don't lose any, because sometimes it will stick to the paper towels. So now we move on, and we cover our dish that we were using with the parchment paper. Let's remove the scallops from the paper towel now that they've been properly dried. Thank you for your patience. Now, we're going to sprinkle our scallops first with about a teaspoon of salt. And maybe get a little bit more light here. Now, there has been some debate about whether or not my roommate Michael will be able to eat scallops if I'm ever able to make this again. And I'm hoping he can, because he can't eat anything raw. But these will be thoroughly cooked, so that shouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Now we sprinkle with the pepper. You may need more, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Now that little beep that went off, the green beans are going to be ready soon for their next step in preparing them. And you can move some around if some didn't get any salt or pepper, so they can soak up some from the paper towel. Now we're going to set this aside for now so we can move on with our green beans. Now here they're finished boiling, so we turn off our heat and we move on, and we Mix our green beans thusly. And we add not one, not two, not even three, but a total of 4 tablespoons of butter, which we then vigorously toss. And kind of position it so that the butter can melt. We also add 1 teaspoon of our lemon juice. And then we're going to put in 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. You may have remembered from my previous videos, I don't like adding too much salt at this stage, because if you add too much, you're stuck with what you got. You can always add more, but it's better to add just a little bit now. And then add more if necessary later. Oh, I did. This is the best way, I think, to eat green beans. Now we also need, let's get this ready, we're going to add 1½ tablespoons of dry parsley. These are my grandma's Tupperware measuring spoons. I don't know if my cousin Denise, or Nisi as she's known to everyone, remembers, but it was her mother, my aunt my great aunt Ethel, that sold these to my grandma, one of her Tupperware things. Okay, and there we have our harcourt vert à la maître d'hôtel. And I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too, but I'm not worried. Now we're going to set this aside, and we can warm it up later if necessary. I'm going to go put a lid on it to sort of try to conserve the heat. Now we're back to our scallops, and you just want to take a little bit, use your finger for this, just little drops, or if you don't want to do that, you can use our 1/8 of a teaspoon. Just a little bit of lemon juice on each one, trying not to miss any. But if I miss one here or there, it's not going to worry too much about it. As my grandma used to say, it all comes out in the wash. While you're all watching, I'd like to say, give a shout out to some of my friends in the Sacramento Gay Men's Chorus, especially my friend Sean and his husband Bill. They've been going through some difficulties, but they're coming through and things are looking up for them, and I'm very happy for them both. I hope they don't mind my mentioning this. And another one of my friends, I'd like to say hi to Elizabeth Sarnoff. Okay, that should be enough, I think. Maybe a little more. Okay. And now, we're going to set this aside for a bit as we go on to getting our cherry tomatoes ready. These have already been washed, but I do have to make sure that none of the little vine parts are there. We don't want that. Pardon my arm. Okay, now we're going to get 2 tablespoons of our EVOO, extra virgin olive oil. Though again, if you don't have any available, slutty olive oil will do. Okay. And while we're doing this, we can also preheat our oven to 425 degrees. Okay. And we're just going to drizzle the olive oil. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, what the heck. Sometimes you just have to use recipes as a guideline, not a set in stone kind of commandments thing. Now we're also going to get, I'm going to sprinkle this with salt. And of course, pepper. And if I sneeze, let me say excuse me in advance, but that's what happens with pepper, me and pepper. Now we're going to take some thyme, no parsley or sage or rosemary, just thyme. I'm going to sprinkle that over our cherry tomatoes. Okay, that looks good. And now as soon as our oven has reached 425, we're going to put this in the oven for approximately 15 to 20 minutes. I'll start with 15, and if they look okay, they're done. If not, I'll leave them in for an extra 5. We'll set this aside for now and get back to our scallops. We're going to put these in our Ziploc bag of about half a cup of flour. Get all of that. Zip it closed. And then you just shake this. Shake it like a Polaroid picture. I hope I don't have a copyright infringement because of that. And then we take our colander, which we thoroughly dried. We put our scallops in the colander, and we toss this a bit till we get rid of the excess flour. See all that excess flour? We got rid of it. Ooh. Yes, like Julia said, if you're going to flip something, you have to have the courage of your convictions. And if something falls out, pick it up, dust it off, and when you're alone in the kitchen, who's to see? Okay, that looks like it's enough excess is dusted off, so we go on. Now, We add our oil. We don't want a whole lot, just like maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Make sure it's all in there. And we're going to put this on a medium-high heat. I'm going to go with numbers between 6 and 7. And how many of you remember a little trick my grandma taught me to know when the oil is hot enough to cook with? You add a couple of drops of water, or in this case I'm going to use my lemon juice here. And once it starts popping, you'll know that the oil has reached the desired temperature. In the book I'm using, the French Chef Cookbook by Julia Child, she says just before the oil starts to smoking. But this is a non-smoking house, damn it. Just kidding. Although it is a non-smoking house. Okay, it looks like it's getting ready. The little drops of, yeah, I think I hear it. I'm going to try again here. And just in case it does start to get too smoky, I don't want the fire alarm to go off, so I'm going to, okay, that's about right. And that sound means that it is time now to put the tomatoes in the oven, which I will do right before I start cooking the scallops. And I'll set my timer at 20 minutes. Deep, although this is, I'm using the right size pan. Hopefully it's not like with chicken or beef or anything else, then the crowding won't be too much of a problem. Because the book does say to toss, we're going to toss these, I love tossing things, we're going to toss these for about 5 minutes. Stay with me. And I can tell you already it smells great. This will be so good. And maybe I'm thinking it might be a little bit too hot, so I'm going to turn this down to between 6 and 5. Live and learn, live and learn. Although the bits accumulating on the bottom are probably from the flour. I was worried there for a second that maybe my scallops were breaking apart, and I wouldn't want that. Now this can be served as either a main course, which is what I'm doing with it, or it can be served as an appetizer. Totally different ways of presentation if you do one or the other. But I'm going to just show you the way it was recommended when served as a main course. careful when you're cooking with hot oil because it does splatter. Excuse me. Anyway, back to my roommate. You just can't have anything raw. So hopefully, I'm confident, but hopefully these will be completely cooked. You don't want to leave any raw part, because if they're still available at the grocery outlet by the time he's back, sometime in March, maybe April, I'm going to be able to feed him all the delicious food I've learned how to cook since he's been away. Smell the lemon. Didn't use that much, but it really combines well with the scallops and the EVOO. Sometimes I wish I could cook sitting down. Actually, this kind of reminds me, the aroma reminds me of the time I had scallops at this one Chinese restaurant back in Stockton. They were really good. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, it was so long ago. Reached our 5-minute mark, and we have. So now I'm going to continue by adding our shallots here, and 1 clove of mashed garlic, and we continue to toss this for a minute more. Now, don't burn yourself, Wesley. This is adding an even extra wonderful aroma of the shallots and the garlic. It's really coming together, I think. Okay. Now we're going to add our 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of our parsley here. We're going to continue tossing. Oh. Butter, the garlic, salt, the pepper, the lemon. It all just, oh, it smells fantastic. So we're just going to toss this a little bit longer for about maybe 2 more minutes. I do wonder how this would work if I added a little basil, but I'm not going to do that this time. Maybe next time, but for now, I can't help but wonder. Okay. heat off. Move it to a different burner. Now all we have to do is all we have to do now is wait for the tomatoes, and our dinner is done. To preserve the heat, I put this glass pie plate over because this pan did not come with a lid, but that should help keep everything nice and warm until the tomatoes are done. If not, I'll just have to reheat it a little. That's not a problem. Same with the green beans. If it gets too cool, we still have time. We can still just reheat it. That's why we have stoves. Okay, it's almost done. And I am going to warm up my side dishes real quick. But this tomatoes actually caused my I don't want to make it too hot, just warm up the scallops a bit. Toss my onion, green beans a bit. Why was I calling them onions? I don't know. Okay, so everything should be ready very soon. So, let's just skip ahead. And there are the tomatoes. You can still hear it sizzle. It's probably what made the smoke detector go off. But it's off now, so turned off, I mean. So everything's fine. We got our scallops, we got our tomatoes, we got our green beans. Let's eat. And there she is. Doesn't that look beautiful? And now my favorite part. First, let's try one of these tomatoes. Oh, these look good. Ooh. You'd think I'd know by now. Oh, very hot. But delicious. And the green beans, just as fantastic as they always are. And now the pièce de résistance. I think I pronounced that one right. Scallops. It's been a very long time since I've had scallops, but these are pretty good. I may have actually slightly overcooked them, but they taste really, really good. Try another one here. Oh, that is just amazing, if I do say so myself. Anyway, that is my episode for the day. I hope you have a chance to prepare this meal yourself for you and a loved one. Until next time, I am Wesley Foreman. This has been Cooking for the Yum of It. Please remember to like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and feel free to comment down below. And until next time, always remember, eat and enjoy.